projects would generate property tax revenues. Is there any way to correlate the additional housing projects with additional calls?
Yes.
And what is the multifamily housing project that's?
Don't know if it's specific to those locations, but just in the population growth, for the last 3 years, we've seen a 12.5% increase in calls, and that's pretty much paralleled the growth in population. So but for those homes themselves to say that they added to it, the population in general is correlated with the number of calls.
So by adding a housing project, though, the property tax revenues would be able to increase.
Yes.
Okay, so as long as there's healthy people moving in.
Yes.
That's what we.
Healthy people have babies.
Yes.
Babies get sick.
Okay.
One more.
Yes.
I'm sorry, to go back to, where I'm lost.
Okay.
I have, one wheelhouse and I try to stay in it for the most part. So yes, and the other item that this doesn't capture, but it is a note, says increase in revenues related to plan check and inspection fees. And that's a big portion of what we've been trying to accomplish by separating the will serves and getting the process streamlined to where we could actually, and it's working, charge fees for people to come in for individual projects and pay their way for construction for the inspection plan check process. So we don't know what that number is. We haven't projected any dollar amount, but we're hoping that for every construction project that comes in, it's going to generate some money. The multifamily housing project is something that's proposed to go in just below the parish hall, and that would be a great improvement and enhancement to the community. It would bring a lot of benefit, and it would bring a decent revenue stream, but it's going to bring inherent problems as well as far as fire protection goes. Every project pays a public facilities fee, a fire impact fee to the district, and we collect those tax monies. Those tax monies are restricted funds. We can only spend them on certain items. If we do not spend them in the proper categories and we do not prove that to the county, then we are required to reimburse them 100%. And that's something that I'll bring forward, or I'm not going to say that, that's something that'll be brought forward to you at the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Any other further public comment? Any comment from the board?
Is there a timeline on that multi-family, like when we're gonna see that?
It's still in conception. They're trying to get a zoning variance right now. That property is zoned recreational, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The Planning Commission, I've attended a couple meetings, one with the developer and one with the Planning Department. And the Planning Department is receptive to changing the zoning. They think it's a good fit. There's some odd restrictions placed on the property because of its zoning restrictions. Being placed under the recreational zoning, they were limited to a one-story construction. From a fire perspective and our district's policy, we're allowing two-story construction. So they're trying to work the details out to make it fiscally sound for them. If they could do a two-story element and keep that two-story element closer to the highway and still retain the view shed of the mission and the parish hall, I think the county would be in favor for it. There are some stumbling blocks, and of course the natural gas is one of the main stumbling blocks, but the natural gas, it is the Hearst Corporation who's looking at it, so potentially they have some connections and they might be able to bring a natural gas pipeline and share costs with the properties in the adjacent areas to distribute natural gas, which would be a great thing from a fire life safety perspective, to get rid of all the propane tanks around town and to reduce the cost of people's energy bills would be fabulous. So I'm trying to encourage them as much as possible. The meetings I've been to, it seems positive, but there is no definite timeline on it.
Okay. from all my readings, and I actually have a textbook that's apparently used at Cal Poly, it's California Municipal Finance, for local, or Guide to Local Government Financing. And it says that most residential construction actually can either be a net neutral or actually be a drain on government finances in the long run without a mix of commercial and industrial zones. So,
Well, my thought is that with the increase of residential population, or with the increase of the residential population and the increase of housing units, it's gonna put a requirement. There's gonna be there already is a need for commercial development. It's just a matter of who's going to do it and where they're gonna do it. The Dollar General was a good enhancement to the community. We could have done better, but it's a good stepping stone if, you know, people were to explore potentially putting commercial development on the Cemetery Road strip of land. I think there's plenty of parking, plenty of access. It would be a great place for a market or something to that, but you know, I'm not in the planning department.
Just change the name of the road.
Well, somebody wanted to put a retirement home next to it, and I said, you know you're on Cemetery Road and your neighbor is a cemetery.
I have one more question. Are we possibly going to be selected to do the out-of-county calls this year for the fire season, or?
It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, I mean, we're part of the master mutual aid plan, and it just depends on how the weather plays out.
Well, we can probably guess there might be a fire somewhere, but I just didn't know if it was like rotating or if we're.
There is a rotation,
Okay.
but it's so frequent, we are called regularly.
We have to be able to fill the need.
Well, I don't want us to miss out on the money.
What's that?
I don't want us to miss out on the money.
Yeah, we try to say that. Though.
No, we don't.
It's not about money when you're
No.
going on a mutual aid fire.
We're going out to help other people
Right.
in need.
But the money doesn't suck.
Pretty much. Well said.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Dodge, are we only allowed one CDBG grant a year, or are we allowed to apply for multiple CDBG grants and receive multiple CDBG grants, or how does that work?
We can apply for as many or as few as we want.
Okay.
The reality is that the Board of Supervisors isn't gonna allocate more than a small percentage to infrastructure,
Okay.
unless that infrastructure is deemed of the highest priority,
Mhm.
or some sort of a immediate public health safety problem.
I was doing some research, and apparently there might be CDBG funding for a CSD admin building. The county actually listed, and I found that the other night.
They have listed that, and it is part of what we could apply for.
Mm-hmm.
The issue right now is that the county is under mandate from the state to increase the low-income housing and also to address the homeless population.
Mm-hmm.
And virtually all of the money is going towards those type of
Well,
projects.
that product, the shelter they're trying to get going in Paso, that's CDBG funds.
Yeah.
To the tune of about 1.7 mil, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's almost 6.
6 million?
But it's partially funded by Tascadero and Paso, but part of it's coming from CDBG. So
Yeah, I think the total dollar's 5 million maybe.
Okay.
So total.
Well, that's even then, I mean, that loan amount from CDBG, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Okay.
Any other board comments?
No, not right now.
Is there any other public comment? All right, back to the board.
Perfect.
That was consensus though, or was that agreement to my request from earlier?
We're going to see what it would take us, and we're gonna bring it to you to tell you how many hours
Okay.
at the next meeting.
Yeah.
That work? Okay. Then we'll get a consensus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Need a table items 4 and 5.
So now we're gonna go into closed session.
Yes.
I need to hit away,
Wait.
so.
Okay.
You forgot an item.
What,
Forgot board member comments at the end, or.
Yeah, I guess we could,
Or is it, where does that procedurally go? Is that gonna go after?
I think
wanna do final public comment,
At the end of the meeting.
or
yeah, But we're gonna have to reopen to open session
Yeah, we'll do
for,
open
to
session.
say anything that happened in closed session and then have board comment.
Oh, yeah.
But you could ask if there's any other public comment on anything, cite on the air, or caution, public comment.
figure it out.
Since we're going back into closed session, are there any other public comments? No. Thank you.
Did you get her?
Told her we're coming back through now.
No, she'll sit on.
How was class?
Take a 5-minute recess and get Blaine on that. You have to call it, Ashley.
Huh?
You have to call it.
I can call them.
I'm gonna recess.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, let's take a 5-minute recess.
Hit the gavel. I know, everybody go home.